Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Mahmudah. I'm from TBIC class with registration number 2021304059. I will reaction the video debate with the motion. This house believes that a school should teach their student global citizen instead of instilling nationalism. From video debate, uh, the first speaker from government team claimed that a school should prioritize teaching global citizenship over nationalism. And the first speaker from government team argued that global citizenship fosters a sense of responsibility and inclusivity, leading to solving world problems and combating xenophobia. Global citizenship recognizes our common humanity and promotes a broader perspective. The first speaker from government team gave evident example of the impact of global citizenship can be seen in humanitarian crisis, climate change, and terrorism. So from the first speaker from government team, conclusion, teaching global citizenship in school allow the next generation to develop a sense of responsibility, influence social change, and address global issues. From the first speaker from the opposition team have three rebuttal. The first rebuttal is the opponent's nation of global citizenship is flawed. And the second rebuttal is the opponent's argument about the first behind global citizenship is invalid. And the third rebuttal is the opponent's critique of the so-called virtues of global citizenship is unfounded. And the first speaker from opposition team argued that the nationalism acts as an antidote to self-interest. Without regulation, individuals would indulge in self-interest without a consequence. And the secondly argument, nationalism contributes to morality by establishing a shared cultural identify. So the first speaker from opposition team conclusion: teaching nationalism in school is essential for molding moral being and shaping the characters of young people. From the video, the second speaker from government team emphasized that the debate is centered around whether children should be educated about having an outward-looking mindset, rather than the freedom to make a decision or the specific policy orientation. The second speaker from government team distinguished between nationalism and national pride, stating that while it is acceptable for individuals to have some national pride, they don't need to adopt a nationalistic ideology. Nationalism is seen as inherently exclusive, preventing individuals from seeing themselves as global citizens. The second speaker from a government team addressed the idea of unification raised by the opening opposition, arguing that teaching nationalism to malleable minds can lead to a slippery slope. Second speaker from government team contended that promoting an outward-looking mindset helps individuals see themselves as part of a broader in the idea of humanity, independent of race or religion. The second speaker from government team discussed the problem associated with economic nationalism, where countries prioritize protectionism and favor domestic production over global supply chains. The first speaker from government team highlighted the potential for xenophobia and tension within multicultural societies, where individuals may lack respect and kindness toward other nationalities. From the video, the second speaker from opposition team argued that international issues are also national issues because people in a country like China are concerned about the potential threat of terrorism and its impact on their nation. The second speaker from opposition team argued that suggests that people self-interest leads them to be concerned about refugees taking their jobs. The second speaker from opposition team asserted that nationalism, even in its liberal form, can benefit a country's society by promoting communication and trade with other nations, thereby improving their economy. The second speaker from opposition team highlight the interaction and defining power that nationalism brings to diverse culture. From the video, the third speaker from a government team argued that education has the power to provide a counter-narrative to the prevailing media and political influence. The third speaker from government team emphasized the positive impact of education on individuals, particularly in a global society. The third speaker from government team addressed the concern raised by the opening government regarding global problems like terrorism and environmental issues. They argued that education makes it easier for nations to out their ideas and policies to their citizens as people becomes more informed and willing to make sacrifices. From this video, the third speaker from opposition team I believes that schools should provide various aspects of education and prioritize different elements. It is mentioned that education has a significant impact on students, especially elementary and junior high school students. The third speaker from opposition team argued that education is not the best way to promote globalization, suggesting that politicians may have ulterior motives. The third speaker from opposition team asserted that nationalism is necessary for protecting countless benefits and suggests that schools should teach the importance of nationalism. The third speaker from opposition team argued that education should promote respect on equality, encompassing both globalization and nationalism. From the video, the last speaker from government team give a conclusion about the first until the third speaker from their team. The speaker argued that the debate is not about advocating for countries to sacrifice their own national benefits for humanitarian reasons, but rather about promoting a cosmopolitan education that benefits both the individual and a nation world. The speaker argued that the purpose of education is to nurture good citizens and successful members of society. They believe that a globalized education system help individuals become better global leaders and promote economic benefits for their own country. The speaker countered the opposing team's concern about sacrificing national benefit by stating that their aim is not to change the focus on national benefits. The speaker argued that promoting inclusivity and respecting diverse races and cultural benefits society as a whole. They claim that this approach prevents discrimination and xenophobia, leading to economic benefits and improve diplomatic relationship between countries. And the speaker clarifies that they are not advocating for students to give up their national benefits or housing for refugees.
8. The opposition
Okay,
whip.
from the video, the last speaker
In this
from
debate,
opposition
we
team
should debate whether government
present
can
two
make
arguments
priority of
against government
specified
intervention
principle or
in
not.
education.
As we
The
told you,
first
we
argument
cannot
revolves
say
around the idea
global
that schools
citizen is
should provide
always
various
superior to
knowledge
nationalism,
and
because
perspective
thinking
to
the benefit
students
of
so
own
that they
country
can
is
make
also essential
informed
to
choice
keep
about their
profit of
future.
own countries. So, schools should provide
second-
various knowledge
the
of various
second argument-
aspects so that
The
students
second
can
argument
have proper choice
focus on
with a
the
lot of
freedom
options.
of choice and
So,
expression.
education
Speaker
should
contend
make
that
priority of
individuals should
students'
have
good
the
future
freedom
with
to
choices.
decide their own
Education should not be
belief,
used for
religion, and
disrupting these problems.
principle.
Okay, let me move on
So
our
the speaker
argument. We have
opposes
two
the
arguments.
motion
First
of
is
government
what is school
intervention
and what
in
is
education,
should be. The second argument is
asserting
why
that
government
schools
should not intervene this
prioritize
choice,
specific
which
principles or
citizens
ideologies.
think globalism,
They argued
citizens
for
think
the importance
globalism
of
or
providing
nationalism.
diverse
I
knowledge
will
and
explain one by one.
perspective to
First,
students,
what is school
allowing
or
them
what
to
education
make
should
their
be?
own choice and
I think
fostering
that
critical
school role
thinking
is
skill. Okay, I think that's all from me. And the last I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.